Hi everybody, Cindy with Super Mutts here. Today I'll be talking about the importance of kennel training your new puppy. I'll discuss the proper way to kennel train your puppy, the equipment that you'll need, and the do's and don'ts of kennel training. Later in this video, I'll show you a 9-week-old puppy I recently worked with named Tesla, and I will demonstrate how to properly kennel train your puppy. I would like to start by saying that the one thing that all pet professionals agree on is that every dog should be kennel trained. And by pet professionals, I mean veterinarians, dog trainers, groomers, animal welfare organizations, as well as local shelters and rescue groups. We all agree that kennel training is a very important part of a dog's mental well-being. Our book, Puppy Montessori, goes into further detail about kennel training. It is an integral part of the nursery setup for the Puppy Montessori system, and our book is available on Amazon. I will post a link below this video so that you can order this book. There are several reasons why you should kennel train your puppy. First is for house training. The kennel allows you to successfully house train your puppy in the shortest amount of time and is the proper way to do so. Dogs don't like to soil where they sleep, and so the kennel helps you teach your puppy where the correct place to eliminate is. Dogs are den animals and they like the security of confined spaces. The kennel provides your pet with a comfortable place to sleep and provides safety and security similar to that they would provide for themselves in the wild. A wild dog's den is his home, a place to sleep, hide from danger, and also raise a family. Kennel training helps prevent separation anxiety in that it teaches your pet to be alone and teaches him to self-soothe. Proper kennel training sets your dog up to be comfortable whenever or wherever he may find himself in a kennel, such as at the veterinarian office, the groomer, in an emergency, if you're traveling in the car. If your dog is comfortable in a kennel at home, he'll be comfortable elsewhere when in a kennel. Kennel training also keeps both your puppy and your house safe. You don't have to worry about leaving your puppy and coming home and finding the house destroyed or finding that your puppy has ingested something that might be harmful. Kennel training also allows you to have a safe place to put your pet if you're having a party, say you're having work done on your house and you have a lot of workers coming and going or a lot of children over. It gives your puppy a safe place to retreat where he doesn't have to worry and you don't have to worry about him getting in the way. You can also put your puppy in a kennel while traveling in a hotel, and it's safe to travel in a car with your puppy in a kennel as well. Some people believe that dogs should not be kennel trained, and this is very detrimental to a dog's mental well-being. Many of the problems that dogs develop are because people humanize their dog, and the mistake some people make is thinking that a puppy being in a kennel is similar to a human being in jail, and this is incorrect thinking. This thinking often comes from some of the commercials you may have seen on TV where they show puppies in wire-bottom kennels at puppy mills in deplorable conditions, and proper kennel training is nothing like this. Some people believe that kennels are bad because they or someone they know acquired an adult dog and put the dog in a kennel and left for 8 to 10 hours to go to work, only to come home and find that the dog had either escaped from the kennel or maybe he defecated or panicked and tried to chew out of the kennel and possibly injuring himself. And this isn't because kennels are bad, it's because the owner was uninformed. Whenever you acquire a dog that you don't know anything about, you have to kennel train that dog before leaving it unsupervised in a situation where it potentially has never been. This is why it's important to kennel train your new puppy. If a puppy is comfortable in a kennel, then he'll be comfortable in a kennel as an adult dog. If he ever finds himself in a situation where he's in a kennel, he'll relax instead of panic. In our pet care business, the dogs that have the most problem being in a kennel are ones that come from homes where the owners have not properly kennel trained their dog, or from owners who believe that kennels are bad and so have not used a kennel for their dog. Instead of seeing the kennel as confinement, you should see it as your puppy's bedroom. Just as you provide a child with a bedroom, you should also provide one for your puppy. You wouldn't leave a baby home alone. If you go to work, you hire a babysitter, and if you're going to take a shower or cook dinner, you put the baby in a crib or in a playpen, and you should provide the same thing for your puppy. There is a right and wrong way to kennel train your puppy, and kennels can be used in the wrong way. Kennel training does not entail leaving your puppy in it 24/7, and nor can a small puppy be left alone for 8 to 10 hours while you're at work without eliminating in the kennel, which is counterproductive. A kennel should also never be used as punishment. To properly kennel train a puppy, you need to purchase a kennel, and you want the kennel to be just large enough for your puppy to stand up in, turn around, and lie down. You don't want the kennel to be so large that your puppy can sleep in one end and eliminate in the other. As the puppy grows, you will need to increase the size of the kennel, and to eliminate buying multiple kennels throughout your puppy's life, you can purchase a kennel that has a divider in the middle where it allows you to make the kennel either larger or smaller. And we recommend Midwest kennels. I will put a link at the bottom of this video to our Amazon store where you can purchase the kennel as well as some of the other items I'll be talking about in this video. You should also provide something soft for your puppy to lie on while he's in the kennel, either a towel or a blanket. We recommend a towel for a couple of reasons. One, it allows you to tell if the puppy is soiling in the kennel. If your puppy's soiling in the kennel, you want to remove the bedding and replace it with fresh bedding. A towel allows you to see if the puppy has eliminated in the kennel, and it's also easy to wash, easier than a bed or a large blanket. Once you know that your puppy's not soiling in the kennel, then you can buy a pet bed or use a larger blanket for bedding. You also want to put something hard to chew on. Puppies are teething and they do like to chew on something hard, and if you don't give them something in the kennel to chew on, they may chew on the sides of the kennel. You also should put some toys in there for them to play with while they're in the kennel. In our book, Puppy Montessori, we talk about the importance of having a treat pouch and treats whenever you're training your puppy, and kennel training is no different. We recommend Natural Balance Beef Roll for a few different reasons. One, it is a complete nutrition, and so you will be giving your dog a complete nutrition instead of non-nutritional treats. And secondly, it is soft and moist, so it does not take your puppy a long time to chew it, and it doesn't create thirst in the puppy right away, so the puppy doesn't have to drink right after eating it like he would a dry treat. And the third reason we like it is because it does come in a roll, and you can cut it into whatever size you need. So if you have a smaller puppy, you can cut tiny pieces. If you have a larger puppy, larger pieces. It comes in different flavors, beef, chicken, and lamb, I believe. And we have found that beef is the dog's most preferred flavor. When kennel training your puppy, you want to remember that the kennel should be associated with something pleasant, and it should take place in a series of small steps. When introducing your puppy to the kennel, it is important to keep the intervals short and to stay near your puppy so that your puppy doesn't associate being in the kennel with being left alone. You should also feed your puppy in the kennel and keep water in the kennel, and when the kennel door is open, that way your puppy can go in and eat and drink, and it just creates another positive association with the kennel. Have your treat pouch handy and encourage the puppy to go into the kennel by tossing a few treats inside the kennel. Let the puppy go in and eat the treats and then come back out on her own. And do this several times in a row. Eventually, throw the treats into the back of the kennel, and you may have to get your puppy's attention. Let her know you have the treats. Throw them into the back of the kennel, and when the puppy goes in, close the door. And let the puppy eat the treats and sit in the kennel for just a few seconds, and then you'll open the kennel door. And practice this several times in a row as well. Eventually, you'll be increasing the length of time your puppy stays in the kennel before opening the door. You can also associate a word while throwing the treats in the kennel, such as kennel or crate or bed. So in the future, you can say the word and your puppy will go into his kennel on his own. If your puppy cries when she is in the kennel, you may have increased the time she stayed in the kennel too quickly. Continue working on short intervals and increase the time more slowly. It is important not to let your puppy out of the kennel while she is crying. If you let her out at this time, you will have taught her that crying is what gets her out of the kennel, and she'll continue to do so. If your puppy does cry, pay close attention to her, but don't give her any attention. It's important that you don't look at your puppy, talk to your puppy, or tell your puppy to stop at this time. Just ignore the puppy, but pay close attention. As soon as she gets quiet, then you let her out of her crate. If you do this every time, quickly the puppy will learn that quiet is what gets her out of the kennel and is the desired behavior, and she will calm more quickly and eventually will discontinue whining altogether. At this point, Tesla has stopped whining, but she is chewing on one of the bars of the kennel. So I'm not going to let her out because I don't want her to associate chewing the bar of the kennel with getting out of the kennel either. I want her to associate being quiet and calm with getting out of the kennel. So I'm going to wait until she's quiet and calm and sitting politely, and then I will let her out of the kennel. Good girl. Once you've practiced kennel training, you can leave the kennel door open during the day with toys and chews inside, and your puppy should go in on his own to rest, chew, or play. You will hear us say often that most behaviors are caused by the owners unknowingly, and you always need to identify how you could possibly be contributing to your dog's behavioral problems. With kennel training, some people say, well, my puppy couldn't be kennel trained. My puppy hates the kennel and he just screams and cries and I could never kennel train my puppy. And most likely, this is coming from the owner not kennel training properly. And maybe they let the puppy out while it was crying, or maybe they left the puppy too long. So the puppy has associated the kennel with negative things. By letting the puppy out while it's crying, you're basically teaching the puppy that crying is what gets freedom. And so you're training the puppy to cry in the kennel. It's not that the puppy can't be kennel trained, it's that what you're doing is training the puppy that he can cry either and be let out, or he can cry and get you to do something, which is bossy behavior. Once your puppy is comfortable in the kennel with you present, then you can put your puppy in the kennel and leave the room for a few minutes. At first, only for a few minutes. If your puppy starts to cry or whine, just ignore the puppy. Don't go back into the room until he's quiet. Once he quiets down, then you can enter the room. When you return to the room, if your puppy is excited or barking or whining, just ignore the puppy and do some other things in the room until your puppy's quiet, and then you can let him out. It's also important to remember when you return not to let your puppy out when he is excited. If you let your puppy out when he's excited to see you, then he may start anticipating your return, and that may create anxiety and could possibly cause separation anxiety in the future. When kennel training your puppy, remember that the kennel is like your puppy's bedroom or safe place, and it is a tool to help in the house training process. A young puppy should never be left for more than a couple of hours in the kennel and should be given plenty of time out to play and exercise. Always keep the intervals short. Make positive associations with the kennel. If you do these things, you're providing your puppy with something that he needs, and it should be a pleasant process for both you and your puppy. If you're having issues with kennel training, you can purchase our book, Puppy Montessori, and you can also leave us some comments in the comments section below, or visit us on our website, and we'll post links to all of that below this video so that you can do so. For more training videos, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, and we hope we see you next time. Bye!